So recently, many people have made the claim that the iPhone 17 is better value compared to the Google Pixel 10. However, I wouldn't say that this is entirely the case. So the main reason why people are saying that the iPhone 17 is better value compared to the Google Pixel 10 is because of the storage. The iPhone 17 comes with 256 gigabytes of storage, while the Google Pixel 10 only comes with 128 gigabytes. Now I can see why people are making this claim, but that's just the surface level that we are talking about with these devices. It's disappointing that the iPhone 17 comes with double the amount of storage that the Google Pixel 10 has. However, just because it has double the amount of storage doesn't automatically make it better value compared to the Google Pixel 10. Now you might be asking why I disagree with this being better value, and this has to do with transferring photos and videos over to my PC. You see, transferring photos and videos from my iPhone to my PC is very annoying. I don't like how hard Apple made this process. There are workarounds like installing a third-party app, but this should be one of the features where you shouldn't have to install a third-party app just to use this feature of transferring your photos and videos to your PC without having issues. This should be a feature where you just plug in your phone to your PC, unlock it, hit yes on the prompt for transferring photos and videos over, and boom, success. However, this isn't the case with iPhones. In reality, when I allow it access to my photos and videos, and I begin transferring, I get hit with a bunch of error messages. I have experience testing cheaper Android phones, and none of them face this issue. This is an iPhone only issue. Now, before you say this is because iPhones use lightning adapters, this isn't the case. I have a USB-C iPhone 15 Pro, which I can use the USB-C for charging and transferring. However, I still face this issue, even though that phone doesn't have a lightning port to it. Now, what if you have an iPhone already, or you plan on switching to an iPhone? What should you do in this scenario? I recommend two things in this case. The first thing is installing KDE Connect on your iPhone and on your PC. You will need this on both devices. This will allow you to transfer photos and videos without needing to plug in a cable to your PC. I would even recommend this app to people who aren't having issues to begin with. Now, even though this makes transferring photos and videos easier from an iPhone to a PC, I still don't like how hard Apple made the process because, for example, what if the app decides to shut down or the app just doesn't work properly? You are basically toast. Well, not entirely toast, but you're just gonna have a hard time transferring photos and videos over from your iPhone to your PC. Now, this leads me on to my next recommendation, using the cloud. What you want to do with your iPhone is you want to upload your photos and videos to the cloud and then download it from your PC. This will allow you to avoid that issue transferring photos and videos over. But if you're like me and you don't use a cloud service, you probably wouldn't do this method. I personally use hard drives because I don't want to pay a subscription fee for a cloud service. This video isn't about Androids being better value compared to iPhones, or iPhones are better value than Android. What the purpose of this video is saying is that we can't say one device is better based on one tech spec solely. For example, let's compare the RAM size on the iPhone versus a Samsung phone. The iPhone 17 has 8GB of RAM, while the S25 has 12GB of RAM. On paper, it looks like the Samsung S25 is a clear winner since it has more RAM. However, RAM isn't everything. Of course, you do need some RAM in your phone, but phones nowadays have enough RAM that it's really only used for multitasking. Maybe if you're hardcore gaming, you might need more RAM, but this is a phone at the end of the day. I don't think you're really going to be hardcore gaming on this phone. On top of this, iPhones tend to utilize less RAM when doing tasks on your phone. So even though the iPhone 17 has less RAM, it can keep up with the Samsung Galaxy S25, which has 12GB of RAM, compared to 8GB on the iPhone. So you see, looking at the specs solely doesn't show the full picture. So now, what phone do you choose? It all comes down to personal preference. If you're deep into the Apple ecosystem already, you probably want to get an iPhone. If you have a lot of features on your phone, you probably want to get an Android. You should really do your research when it comes to choosing a phone, not because one person on Reddit says the iPhone 17 is better value compared to a Google Pixel 10. You should look into the phone deeply, rather than listening to anyone saying that one phone is better value than another. Only you will be able to decide what phone can really suit your needs the best. I'm really happy with the Google Pixel 10 Pro. I've made a review on this phone, I've done unboxings for this phone, I've talked about this phone, and I brought it up to a lot of family members. Not really a lot of family members, like 2 family members. But I am somewhat satisfied with this phone. I love the picture quality. Video quality actually seems to be pretty good on the main sensor. But that's a separate video. If you guys want me to do a dedicated video comparing Android phone brands or comparing iPhone to Android, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.